a little sad news, especially for me, especially for anybody that loved hip hop in the 90s. The one and only Coolio has passed away, which I'm sure everybody at this point knows. I would assume they know. This is a artist that I loved in the 90s when he came out. Gangster's Paradise, obviously, was the smash hit that got me into it. I remember I wasn't allowed to listen to hip hop, to rap, really. I mean, especially gangster rap. Gangster rap was the thing that was scaring all the parents at the time. And I was able to, of course, listen to Vanilla Ice. Of course, white rappers were okay, seemingly, and even MC Hammer. I was okay. I was allowed to listen to MC Hammer because he was more of a pop type of rapper. He wasn't really he wasn't into the trend of the time of gangster rap. So I was allowed to listen to a couple artists in that genre, but in general, I believe Coolio was kind of the big one that I encountered some pushback on when I got the Coolio album. I remember specifically trying to argue that it was okay because Gangsta's Paradise was gangstas. It wasn't gangster. It was gangstas. It worked, I guess. I don't know. It's really mind-boggling how you're able to convince conservative parents. It wasn't even just my mom; it was my friend's mom as well, who was very active in the church and all of that. So, whatever, the argument worked, and I was able to listen to it. He wasn't actually my first. The first hip hop artist, which I wouldn't say is gangster rap, and I don't even know how much Coolio was actually gangster rap either. Like Tupac or Biggie, I would say those are definitely more gangster rap. Um, but the first hip hop album that was not MC Hammer and was not Vanilla Ice was Skee-Lo, known for I Wish. I Wish I Was a Little Bit Taller. Very popular song of the time. It was Summer Vacation. I listened to the radio is how I got most of my music. Just listening, there was a couple radio stations, and one of the radio stations was alternative, and they changed formats to being R&B and hip hop. And my goal for this summer was to call in. They had radio contests all the time where you call in and you can win prizes. And my goal for that summer was to call in and win a prize, to win a radio contest. And I did. One day I called, and I called the radio station all the time. I would call and request songs, and then when they came on, I would hit record on the cassette deck that was part of the radio, and that's how I would. That's before Napster, before streaming services. You would request songs from the radio station, and hopefully they will play the song you request. So I would call the radio stations all the time, but my goal was to win a competition. I won a competition, and they gave me a coloring book for SeaWorld, which the sound of depression and sadness in my voice made the disc jockey, who clearly knew I was a child at the time. You know, I was probably like 12 years old, maybe 13 years old, was not happy. Was not happy with the coloring book. They decided to give me a cassette of Skee-Lo, who was the popular artist with the hit song I Wish, which I was happy about that. Of course, I had to convince my mom to drive to the radio station to pick up the cassette for me, but it was a cassette that I listened to all the time. But the first CD that I got, that I think I spent money on, was Coolio, because of Gangster's Paradise, and many other songs. Fantastic Voyage was another one. He had a few hits on MTV at the time. You know, he was fun, too. He had the crazy hair. He was honored by having one of his songs, Gangsta's Paradise, parodied by Weird Al Yankovic, which apparently they had a bit of friction because of that, because Coolio didn't realize what an honor it was to have your song parodied by Weird Al. I think later on they became friends and buried the hatchet, as it were. But yeah, just a guy. And then more recently, he appeared on a fun internet show that I love called Hot Ones, where famous people come on and try to eat 10 spicy, like increasingly more spicy wings with spicy hot sauce as they're being interviewed, which is a great interview show. I think Sean Evans is the host, asks great questions, and Coolio's appearance on that show was pretty historic, I would say, in the pantheon of guests that have been on that show. And just somebody that's kind of been in the zeitgeist ever since the 90s, you know? Never really hit the same highs as he did. Always well respected. Like, he was just kind of a guy that everybody loved, right? Gangsta's Paradise to this day is still a great song. So many of his songs, like after hearing of his passing, I went back and listened to a bunch of his songs, used a bunch of his songs for my painting videos when I post those up on social media. It's just, he seemed like a really fun guy, right? Just a solid dude, solid artist, and just a good, like there was never really any, that I could remember, any real drama with him. There's no real negative press of his that I can remember. Not that I was too plugged into that sort of thing, but a shame to see. Passed away at 59. From what I hear or heard, it was due to cardiac problems, like heart problems. So, I mean, a lot of things can contribute to that. Maybe drug use growing up. Maybe he did a lot of cocaine when cocaine was very popular. Who knows? It could be congenital. It could be, you know, something that's part of his family history of having heart issues. Who knows? But 59, very young for somebody who seemed to be in good shape, at least when he was on Hot Ones. I mean, but you never know. You never know. But sad to see him go. You know, out of so many people that seem to be dying, a lot of musicians and actors and kind of celebrities of my generation are kind of starting to go, and it's sad. It's sad, and you know, I think it's a thing where I think his best work he had already done, and you know, thankfully it will live forever. You know, we'd always be able to go listen to a Coolio song and kind of bring that back, or watch his interviews, all the things that are online. So we're living in a time that even though a lot of these celebrities are dying, that, you know, we can kind of revisit all the things that they did throughout their career and enjoy it and kind of remember them. So rest in peace, Coolio. You will be missed. And it would have been amazing to see like a comeback for him. It would have been amazing, you know. And maybe there was, and I'm just, you know, outside of all the things that go on in that world. But either way, Coolio was amazing, and rest in peace.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can